Hello there everyone and welcome back. I am BogMod. We are playing more The Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel. And our good instructor Sarah has made her triumphant return just as we were finishing up.
Oh.
See?
Instructor?
I was wondering when you'd show up.
It's been a while, Sarah.
Ooh, backstory.
That it has. 6 months, give or take? Honestly, I had no idea you RMP folks were gonna get involved with this. I suppose you had everything that was happening here figured out all along.
You overestimate my abilities. I did receive a report that suggested there might be trouble here, but that's it.
Oh, from your brother, I take it.
Ooh.
Nothing gets past you lot.
We're just trying to make sure we're prepared to deal with any problems that might arise. But I'm sorry to say I don't have any more time to catch up with you right now. I really need to be taking my leave. I wish all the best to you and the rest of Class 7.
Right.
And how does Sarah know these people? Well, then again, we can only assume that Sarah herself has various military backstory, given that she is a military instructor now. Her recent actions, however, were those of a skilled officer. Highly skilled. The rest of the railway military police seemed really well trained too. You know her instructor? You could say that. Do you want to elaborate on that, Sarah? Because my imagination will go wild. Looks like you managed to finish all the tasks I laid out for you. So I think it's about time we take our leave of this place too. Understood. Excuse me. Do take care, everyone. Give my regards to Principal Vandyck. If you're ever in the area again, please do come to the market and say hi and buy things. Spend your money. You'll be more than welcome. We will. Thank you for everything. And back to Thor's Military Academy we go. And Sarah's already asleep. Not that I'm surprised. Quick! Somebody draw on her face. Do it, Reen!
She's asleep again.
You know you want to.
You don't think she's faking it, do you?
No. Judging by her breathing, I believe she really is asleep.
Stop staring at her chest, Laura.
Well, it sounds like Group B turned out to be a complete disaster. If she had to deal with them, then come back here on the same day, I'll bet she's totally spent.
Yeah, good point. Anyone would be exhausted trying to sort that out.
I have a point. Of course, remember, Group B has Machias and Eustace on the same team, so yeah.
It's hard to imagine her actually working hard, though, considering her usual attitude.
It does seem as though she's genuinely looking out for us, however.
So, this is how our first field study trip comes to an end, huh? I think I might have an idea now as to why we're here, though.
I had the same thought. Testing the Arcus is clearly a big reason for coming here, but it's not the only reason. I think it has more to do with making sure we see everything that's going on with our own eyes.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking too. Learning more about places in Erebonia we've only read about in books, and getting to see the issues occurring in those regions firsthand, just like in Celtic.
Ah, practical life experience.
Indeed. And just as we thought and acted swiftly in the face of crisis this time, so too may we be called upon to do so again.
Yeah, not bad for military training, I suppose.
These field studies may aim to test and cultivate those skills in preparation for our futures.
I mean, clearly you're not going to be joining the military as mere grunts. You're clearly on the officer path.
Exactly. Add to that good judgment, decisiveness, and general conduct, and I'd say we have a pretty clear picture as to why we're out in the field. Basically, we're training everywhere we go.
Well, you're about half right.
Instructor.
You weren't sleeping. We stared at your chest for no reason.
I was so certain you were sound asleep.
What can I say? I can nod off and back on again in the blink of an eye. It's what I do.
I had a cat like that.
As you rightly noted, having first-hand knowledge of the areas to which you might be deployed is of tremendous importance. as is the ability to make swift, accurate judgments and solve problems with or without orders. Developing all these skills to their fullest is definitely a major part of why you're undertaking these field studies.
But what is the main
Just as
reason?
I thought.
It's an interesting approach, but honestly, I've never heard of any other military academy trying it.
You say we're only half right, however. Which begs the question, what's the rest of the story?
Is something wrong?
Reen's thinking.
Oh, no, not at all. I was just thinking about what we did during our field study and why we were doing it. The whole concept seems eerily similar to the MO of bracers.
Oh, interesting thought there, Reen. I hadn't considered that myself.
Now that you mention it,
The Bracer Guild prides itself on protecting civilians over all else, so it seems an unusual source of inspiration for a military academy. But the tasks we were given in Keldic do seem to align themselves quite well with the Bracer's basic philosophy.
Yeah, I guess so. Their emblem depicts a supporting gauntlet, and that's pretty much exactly what we've been for these people. Bracers still have branches all over the continent, but you hardly ever see them in Erebonia anymore.
Yeah, I remember actually they cover that in Trails in the Sky the Third. There's a whole little backstory bit where it sounded like Ouroboros was using some Jaeger groups to meddle and eliminate them, but then Cassius Bright stepped in and stopped the problem. But still, the damage had been done.
Well, you got me. Which means...
Instructor Sarah, I approve.
how are we ever supposed to take her seriously when she says things like that, then conspicuously falls asleep?
Though well, I mean, and of course there's Olivia, who has familiar with the Bracer Guild, but
Well, whether or
I
not we
think
did
that's
in
not
fact get her, it still seems like bracers are somehow related to our activities here.
Not that Instructor Sarah is likely to come clean about our involvement anytime soon. I suppose until she does, all we can do is prepare ourselves in body and mind for our next field study.
Yeah.
Yeah. Doesn't seem quite right, though. We'll
Is
see.
there something else bothering you?
Oh, no. It's just... Well, we've been in the same class for a month now. And this whole time I've been kind of keeping you in the dark.
What do you mean?
You aren't referring to the issue regarding your swordsmanship, I take it?
No, it's not that. It's something I've been hiding from you all this time.
What is it, Reen? What terrible secret?
Regarding my social class.
Oh yeah, right. I remember. At the very start, he was like, he paused and he waited, and then he said, "There's not a drop of noble blood," which I suspected to mean that he may have been somehow related to the imperial family. He's not from the noble houses. By that was one option. Let me think a bit more. What else? There's not a single drop of... He could have been adopted. Would be another option, I suppose. Or... his family was raised up to nobility, I suppose could also cover it.
What?
Yeah, those three-ish options seem to fit. Or a fourth option, noble family that has been stripped of their nobility. That might... He had a very weird way of saying it. That was clearly something was up.
Are you saying your family...
Yeah, I dodged the question when Machias asked. But technically I come from a family of nobles.
Gasp!
My hometown is Ymir, in the northern mountains. I'm the son of its ruler, Baron Schwarzer.
You're from Ymir?
Schwarzer. Now that you mention it, I have heard the name before. An honorable family. closely tied with the imperial family themselves,
Oh!
despite being headed by a mere baron.
See, well, maybe I'm not so far off about the whole bastard thing with the imperial family.
I never would have imagined you might be the son of a noble, too.
I wouldn't have expected you to. I don't act like one. My dad and mom are both quite easygoing individuals. They don't behave like your typical nobles at all.
Or maybe he was
And
just
technically, since I was adopted,
okay.
I don't have any actual noble blood running through me. I'm upper class in name only.
So, you...
Sounds like you've got your own issues to deal with, just like the rest of us, huh?
Yes, Elisa R.
I don't think of it as a big deal, and I don't want you to think of it as one either.
Yeah, Machias will, though.
I just didn't want to keep it a secret any longer. After everything we've been through these past few days, I owe you guys that much. I mean, you're all going to be a major part of my life from here on out. It's only fair to share as much as I can with you, right?
I don't know what to say.
You consider us to be major parts of your life?
Aww.
Honestly, has anyone ever told you that you can be way too serious sometimes?
Nope. Not even once, Elisa.
Just be sure you reveal your true identity to the others when we get back, too.
Oh, I intend to.
Youth.
Oh, Sarah. Given JRPG things, you're probably 25? Younger than I am.
Even discounting the strangely perfect timing of the railway military police. That ruler of the forest they ran into in the nature park. Seems to be a harbinger of something big happening behind the scenes.
I don't know, big giant fight with guns going on in the middle of a forest that is known for having a giant monster. It seems like the kind of thing that could happen. It's not that suspicious, Sarah. Unless you know something you haven't told me. Speaking of, that's some ominous music. Oh. Oh!
I must admit, I wasn't expecting the Icy Maiden to show up when she did.
A nice voice-hiding mask there. You are clearly an evil villain, sir.
We may need to adjust our plans to compensate for this interference.
That won't be necessary. This was not a significant setback. If anything, it provided an unexpected bonus, giving us a valuable glimpse into the means through which the RMP and Intelligence Division coordinate their efforts. With both organizations posing sizable threats to our operation, that information alone makes this all worthwhile.
Are you with Ouroboros? Ouroboros?
A valid point. Should we proceed as planned, then?
Of course.
Hmm.
The tyrant must yet face the merciless hammer of judgment.
Oh, then again, maybe this is not Ouroboros.
Yes. May his lofty ambitions be crushed to dust and swept away.
Are they talking about the tyrant? We don't know too much about the Imperial family. They might be talking about the Chancellor. He has lofty ambitions. Ooh, Unconventional Studies, Chapter 1, and...
Ooh, you're moving up in the world.
Let's see, how did I do? Uh-huh.
I've got a little reward here for you.
Yay. Uh-huh.
Drinks are on me someday.
Yay! 55.
Perfect.
Yeah! We did all the things. Making the grade. Ooh, our bonds have strengthened. Level 2. Nice. Finishing blow, huh? Alright. Well, let's save. And continue. Because of course we're going to continue. 1 week. 2 weeks. 3 weeks later? Thereabouts?
Late May.
Ah. May is a good month. I like May.
The lino flowers that painted Trista's spring fields had faded, replaced by lush greenery and a refreshing breeze. With the trials of last month's field study behind us, we found ourselves caught up once more in the bustle of school life.
Ooh, a motorbike.
Both our combat training and academic studies continued to become more and more demanding. But May also heralded the beginning of specialist classes, more befitting a military academy.
Oh? Like what? Second period military science?
The Orbital Revolution 50 years ago changed the way wars were fought forever.
I think I studied this. Instructor Oddard.
There are a number of reasons for this fundamental change, but 4 factors in particular that I would argue to be the most important. The first is the invention of orbital guns, cannons, and other weaponry.
Yeah, that's a big... That revolutionizes war.
The increased accuracy of these weapons, as well as their ease of maintenance and manufacture, instantly rendered all other firearms obsolete.
It reminds me of a thing they talked about in the difference between the longbow and the crossbow. Meanwhile, in terms of range and a lot of other factors, the longbow is superior. They say to get a great archer, give me the... how did the saying go? I might look this up. To get a great archer, get me the man's grandfather. Basically, you have to kind of work through the generations to build the culture, to develop the strength to properly use the powerful longbow. Whereas a crossbow is far easier to just get masses out. And has good stopping power, and that sort of thing has a big impact.
The second factor is the associated mechanization of the military. Orbital technology led to the formation of armored divisions made up of tanks and armored cars. The impact this new kind of tactical unit had on the battlefield, with its enhanced offense, defense, and mobility, cannot be overstated.
Yeah, that is very true. We only have to look at, say, World War II, the Blitzkrieg, the impact of armor on the battlefield.
The third factor is the invention of airships. Warships that rely on the gravity manipulation ability of a flight field to remain in the air simply did not exist before the revolution.
The entire creation of a third area of battle, air, there's land and there's water, now you have air.
The sudden addition of a whole new dimension to war, the sky, made countless new strategies viable that were previously unimaginable. And the last factor is the creation of an entirely new practical science, which may be the biggest, most important change of all.
Well, my own understanding of the big factors in history, the radio or something like that. Communication is a huge deal in warfare. Aside from they've talked about the mechanical aspects, air, the weapons, the guns. But if you can respond, or radar, I suppose, would be another big one. But again, that all comes down to how quickly you can communicate, and hand out orders and receive orders and information.
Without orbital technology, such a concept would scarcely even have been conceivable. But now we'd be virtually crippled without it.
But we'll see what the options.
Green Schwarzer. Can you tell the class what that new scientific breakthrough was?
Orbital arts? Not really. Via train? No. Yeah, communications. That's going to be a huge thing. And if you could imagine trying to wage a war between two sides waging a war, all things being equal, except one of them could have real-time communication, between, you know, the commanding generals and support staff and management of the entire battle line, and the other had to wait days or even weeks to hear about major developments, one side is definitely going to have a key advantage. This allows officers on the battlefield to obtain pertinent information in real time and precise, accurate troop movements. Of course, countermeasures have also been invented, such as wiretapping and jamming, to partially limit its benefits, but nonetheless... Got it right. Good work, Green. Heh, well done. I want to thank playing Hearts of Iron 4 for that answer. It's really high-level stuff. I mean, I know the basics, but I've never heard it gone to such detail before. Yeah, you're gonna have to work really hard to keep up. Yay! Some AP. Gender-divided lessons. Oh, are we getting sex ed? Girls, nutritional science and cooking. Oh, society.
Why did Lady Laura have to be placed in a class like that? I was truly looking forward to studying alongside her.
You know, one thing I will credit this game with. All of these people, even though she's just generic upper-class girl, they'll have distinct designs and character, different hair, different accessories. It looks like different... yeah, it looks like even different heights. And these are just the background characters.
Is that girl next to her not the one who scored the highest on the entrance exam?
I believe so, though I also hear she's a mere commoner.
There's something about that silvered-haired girl that I find oddly soothing. I wonder if she'd let me stroke her hair if I were to ask nice.
Maybe.
That's quite enough idle chatter.
Ferris.
We are members of Class 1. We are above such droll behavior.
Yes, verily. Yes.
As well, we cannot allow ourselves to be bettered by that rabble, even in something as insignificant as the culinary arts.
Oh, well, I'm glad to see they're taking us, that they're letting their pride push them to excel, rather than look down on these things as beneath them.
Of course not.
I'm so accustomed to our chef doing all of the cooking, however, that I must admit I'm finding this all rather challenging. Could they make it a little less obvious they're talking about us? I mean, seriously.
It stands to reason they'd be curious about our class. It's hard to blame them for that, at least.
And Fee, how long are you going to mix that? Whisking furiously. Did you really have to give her a little animation, a little bubble for that game?
I think you've whisked that plenty already.
Oh, I'm glad we're in agreement. Meanwhile, the boys get Orbital Computer Primer. Ha!
I feel like I'm finally getting the hang of using an orbital computer.
I bet Machias is already great at this.
Likewise. I was lost at first, but it's slowly beginning to make more sense.
Well, it is cutting-edge technology here in Erebonia, so I think most people are confused until they've gotten used to it.
I bet Emma would love to be in this class.
Machias and Eustace both picked it up surprisingly quickly, though.
Yeah, but academics are their thing.
Oh, there's Eustace.
And I'm pretty sure Machias has been interested in computers for a while, too.
That is some pretty generic-looking, techno-babbly computer scrolly thing, isn't it?
Eustace also seems to get the hang
got
of
a
things
sine
far quicker
wave.
than most people, even if he's not interested in them at all. Which probably just adds insult to injury for Machias.
Ah, that's true. There's not only is he a noble, and thus infuriatingly terrible, just inherently so, but to be naturally gifted on top of his noble birthright, oh! That must be insulting.
I'll bet. I hear they were really butting heads during last month's field study.
Yeah, I also note that they appear to be as far apart in this class as they can possibly be.
They were. At one point, things almost took a violent turn. We were able to hold them back, but I don't think we could have kept them under control for long if Instructor Sarah hadn't arrived.
We really need to do something about them, but I have no idea what.
I don't either, but you're right. This has gone on for way too long as it is. It needs to stop.
Reen Schwarzer.
I suggest locking them into a room together until one of them lives or dies, or they put apart their differences.
Huh? Isn't he from Class 1?
Ah, of course. Now that Reen is possibly known to be a nobleman, suddenly Class 1 has interest in him.
Patrick, is it?
That is correct.
Patrick Hyarms.
My full name is Patrick T. Hyarms.
Oh, Hyarms. My apologies, Patrick.
I don't believe I need to say anything more than that.
What?
Oh?
So, you're from the Hyarms family.
Oh, Reen, that is... Nothing gets past you, buddy. Nothing.
Are they prestigious?
About as prestigious as they come. The Hyarmses are one of the 4 great houses. Though they're slightly lower in rank than the Albareas.
Ah.
I'm sorry. I meant no offense.
It doesn't matter. I didn't come here to talk to commoners or foreigners.
Oh, we're going to take a little break here, and then we're going to deal with this nobleman next time. As I guessed, he is indeed here to talk to Reen. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon for more.